Hey, Will. Welcome back to the Boardcast.
Hello.
Notice I'm missing here?
Whoa. Who's missing?
Yeah.
Who is missing?
So Danny's not here for the beginning half of the podcast. He had to be on
not
the
beginning
trucks
half. I think like beginning maybe 5 minutes or less than 5
We'll
minutes.
play a game
I don't
now.
know.
Like as an audience member, you kind of got to pay attention to when
Look.
Danny sneaks on in.
We just finished our Wednesday. We're recording this on a Wednesday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we just finished our 7-point Highlander, like a casual event.
Yeah, we do
today.
it every week. It's actually one of my like favorite weekly events, just
And
because it's
Kang
more of
doesn't
a
want to
casual
play
come
me.
down.
What a Kang!
Williams built a deck that is,
Whoa! I changed deck this week. The only time because my deck got pointed so much, I couldn't play that deck anymore. I played a new deck.
Yeah.
No, not new. I played my artifact deck, which I had.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you a trial run next week, William, right? You
Yeah.
should come down. That's how I get you back again for next week. But anyway, Danny couldn't make it because he had to be back on the trucks. Of late, in the last few weeks, I want to say he's been doing like nighttime
Night
deliveries.
runs.
Yeah, to the city, I believe.
What is that movie called? There's a movie called like the Night Run.
Night Runner, Blade Runner.
I don't know. There's a movie that someone takes photos at night, like crime photos, and then
sure.
sell it to the news agency.
Spider-Man.
No,
Peter Parker takes photos.
at night, only at night. I can't remember the name of the movie though.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but it's a cool movie though.
I feel bad for the old boy because not only has he been on the trucks of lately as well, he like Danny just has like somehow he just hurts himself every now and again. He'll just
What happened?
something will happen.
What happened this time?
He knocked his shin on like his truck and it just cut him real bad. And he's been bleeding all day.
Damn.
But in a classic Danny fashion, just go back to work.
Damn.
Yeah, he came to Northern Boards today earlier.
He has what's it called? When I think old magic is called steadfast.
yeah,
Now it's called vigilance.
yeah. He has like persist one.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
persist one.
So and then
Probably persist too.
Danny's
persist three.
Danny's coming with like blood. on
Oh,
his
look at
legs.
that!
Oh, wait a
look,
minute.
Look who is the #1 podcaster. He is back from the
Whoa,
trucks.
you make sure to lock the door as well, eh? Yes. There we go.
He's like back from the trucks. He's like,
He heard us talking shit, so now he has to get here.
yeah. We're
in time for the
talking
podcast.
some crap about Danny, and Danny is back now from the trucks.
Well, I'll let him take over the story now about how his leg was just gushing blood, how he had to use masking tape of all things. to
What
put himself
masking
together.
tape?
Yeah.
Okay, let me check that out. Where's his leg? Come on, show.
Oh, now
show us.
it's all good.
All right.
Now he's been like medically treated, I guess is the closest term.
So what we've been talking about is Danny. We need like how certain characters in Magic has like certain names in the card that shows the ability, right? So Danny, you need to be like steadfast Danny. That's Danny because Danny has steadfast in it because he has vigilance. He doesn't falter, right?
I'd like to think that I've got more heroic in me, thank you.
No, heroic. Steadfast. Steadfast used to be attacking does not cause this creature to tap.
What's the most problematic tagline to have? What about banding? I've got banding. I bring
Horsemanship. Horsemanship.
truckmanship. What's going on, boys?
Welcome back.
thank
I
you.
was just talking shit about your shin.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I thought about on the way back up here from the truck. I was like, well, this is a perfect topic. Like, how have you guys horrifically injured yourself?
Oh, I did. When I was young.
I have a story. but
I
I'll-
assumed we all had a few.
Yeah, but
I
I'll
got
let
two.
you.
I got two.
All right, I'll let Danny start because this is the topic in the room. We're talking about how you just walked in from the trucks. And now when you walked in today, you were just kind of gushing blood.
Yeah, so earlier during the day, I smacked my leg against the side of the C channel, which is the truck. It's basically like an incredibly strong piece of folded steel, and the whole point is that if I get into like a crash or something happens to the truck, the C channel stops the whole tray from bending. It's what makes it strong. So my shin tried to fight that as I climbed down from it, right? And what I did was, you ever been on the edge of like a step or something, and your feet like slip? You don't like fall over, but you just like your feet just slip off the step. Now imagine that, but like 1.5 meters up in the air. So I slipped and like I was okay because I just kind of landed flat on the floor. But as I went down, all of my weight hit the shin on there.
So you scrape it or just like
it smacked.
Slam it.
It kind of smacked into it and then fell away. So think of more like a popped grape more than a gash.
Hey,
right?
Danny.
Yeah.
The good thing is you can do MMA now. Kickboxing.
Well, Alex, who was here for Highlander tonight, and he mentioned, he's like, well, you've done kickboxing so long, maybe that's why you didn't feel as much pain. Because at the time there was people in front of me and around me, so I just pretended like it didn't hurt and just went on my
Yeah,
with
I'm a massive pussy when it comes to my shins. Like get kicked on the shins. Ooh, you know.
Well, and I didn't want to be like it's embarrassing, and I don't want to look like a fucking idiot, so I just pretend like it was fine, and I left it. And I didn't when I came here, it was like probably 5-6 hours after it had happened, so I didn't realize it was as bad as it was. And after I sat down, I kind of like touched it, and I squeezed my shin. And just like a big well of blood was in the middle of it. And it'd been like going down into my socks. So all my socks at the moment are full of blood, right? And because it's been happening through the day, I didn't really notice it. And I thought it would congealed over, but it wasn't. It was all like free-flowing blood. So I was like, maybe there's a bit more damage here than I thought there was.
Because you told us about your teeth thing,
Yes,
right?
yes.
You can't stop blood. You have like...
Yeah,
that's why his blood keep flowing.
So Kelly popped through and did it properly because I went down to Burger Boy and grabbed the... first aid kit. We have a first aid kit here in Northern Boards, but I don't know where it is.
So I guess I should
Daniel
interject as well. For anyone who hasn't catched the episode, I think when you went to the dentist discovered that you have like a blood thinning.
Yeah,
thing.
like a mild blood thinning disease.
Yeah.
And it just means that it doesn't congeal as quickly as it should do. Essentially.
Not enough platelets.
Nothing too crazy, but definitely more like less thick than you want it to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we went down to Burger Boy and I went through his first aid kit. And look, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not very well first trained. Even with a child, I think you're supposed to,
Bro, when you walk back in, I could tell. I was trying to find where you put it back together.
I found Danny's weakness. So Danny has no weakness, right? So you know, like
true.
Superman, like he's just strong, like all attributes are strong.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And then when kryptonite is just like weak. Danny
Yeah.
is just like one prick of a needle. It's like, ow, the blood keeps
He's all top
dropping.
heavy.
It's
It
like
just endlessly pours.
endless flow.
Danny's like a 7'1", just like
Yeah, 7-1 trample.
It's funny you mention this because when I was younger, was a massive pussy with like gore and needles and stuff like that. And when I got to about 17, 18, I think I've vaguely told this story. I can't tell all of it for sure because some of it's like for Patreons only in person because it's definitely can't be recorded. But some girls wanted to watch some horror movies together and I definitely was no good at it. They wanted to go watch Hostel with me and another friend of mine who's male,
Hostel.
and they wanted to see it, and I couldn't handle that. I'd literally be sick. So I watched a bunch of movies like that in preparation for this time so that I didn't feel like I was going to throw up while I was with these girls. So I kind of desensitized myself to it a little bit. But I still to this day am like, not great. Even when Kelly was cleaning out my wounds earlier, she took out all the gunk and cleaned it up, and you could see all the white meat of the skin to the deep.
Yeah.
And I was getting a little pale and like I kind of flushed white and was feeling a little like fainty.
Yeah, so after your attempt to pick yourself up, because you walked back in from Burger Boy into Normal Boards, and all I saw around your leg was you wrapped a bunch of masking tape.
Yeah, I couldn't look. I'm not very medically well trained, so I grabbed some gauze.
He feels like an MMA fighter now. You know how MMA fighter has that wrap on the leg?
Yeah.
I like grabbed some gauze and some band-aids and I just pushed them into the gap and then just wrapped heaps of masking tape around it until I hoped it was going to stay. But I've got a really hairy leg.
And then 2 minutes later, it started bleeding again.
Yeah, it was. I've got some photos that I can share, but again, I'll share them into the group chat for Facebook with like a little like, do you want to see it thing? You know what I mean? And that way people can choose whether they want to have a look at it for their Patreons. But I'm definitely not going to post those on social media because it was a bit gross. But when I was young, I was like quite bad with like gore and blood and stuff like that. And I used to play Halo with a kid called Dion. So my mum was a school teacher and my dad was a chef, so he wouldn't come back till like after I'd left for school, and my mum would go to school before we would. And Dion would ride his bike around to my house and we'd play Halo in the morning for like 40 minutes before we had to ride to school ourselves. And one morning, I was really bad, like because I'm so bad with blood, I nicked my finger, and I've still got a little tiny scar here on my finger. I nicked it on the bell out on my bicycle, right? And I looked at the blood coming out of my finger, and it actually made like a bit of a chunk. And I'm looking at the blood while cycling, and I just pass out while I'm cycling like down the street, and I fall like timber off the bike, like, and poor Dion is like over me, like trying to wake me up, and he's like, "You're all right," and like a passing lady had to pull up.
Wouldn't it be like a chain reaction? Now you have fall down, then more blood, and then you wake up,
more injury.
And
I remember like coming to, and Dion's over me was freaking out, and a lady had pulled over with her kids in the car, and she was trying to help me, and I was like all like woozy and shit.
Jeez.
I have to wonder where this because it's like a paranoia, right? Paranoia of blood and gore.
Yeah, I think
These
it's
things-
just
it's a phobia,
I
right?
just don't like gross things, you know.
Yeah.
Some people are just scared of stuff.
But it's like today, I was fine all day. I went and did multiple other deliveries, drove around all day with it, like like the blood like bleeding out into my shoe, not even realizing it. And the minute that I knew it about it, I was like, ugh, gross.
But now you had someone actually see it for reals. You have it wrapped up.
Yeah.
Is it better?
Yeah, an actual nurse came through and cleaned up and fixed for me. It's actually getting a little back like bruise sore now that I've been like moving around a bunch of stuff on it. But it's fine. It's like it'll be
Probably means it's healing, right?
Yeah.
Getting more blood in the area.
well, it won't be healing. It's way too early for it to be healing, but it should happen. Like, you know, if I get some sleep over the next couple of days, it should be right.
Fingers crossed.
Plus 2 tree life.
Do you have an injury story, William?
Yes, 2.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I tripped over.
How young?
I don't know. I don't know how young, but I was young. That I tripped over, and I went 90 degrees like down, and then a rock hit directly between my eye.
Whoa, no way, dude.
In your forehead.
Yeah,
Slam in the middle of the
sky. There's a scar right here.
Were you
see
wearing
it?
a
There's
helmet?
line.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a line here. Can you see
Yeah.
it?
No helmet?
Yeah. No. I'm walking.
Oh my God.
I'm walking. Not cycling. So no need helmet.
Yeah. What happened? Concussion?
No, just hit.
You got a gnarly scar?
And then like scar. That's it. And then the second one was I was riding a bike, not wearing helmet.
And
I jammed the front brake too hard, and then I flipped over.
that helmet thing is real.
Yeah.
Yes.
The helmet thing is real.
Wear a helmet.
Just today, I watched a clip on the internet where it was a bunch of skateboarders doing those dams where they have the channels where the river water flows down. I don't know the proper name for it, but there was a bunch of skateboarders skating down that, and you go pretty fast. And one of them just took a stack.
Here in
And
like WA, or you saw it
no,
like a
I
video
saw,
of it?
I saw it on the
Because they're
internet.
way more prevalent in the US.
Yeah.
Like the big runoffs, because they have more likely to get like typhoons and big
Why
water.
don't you go to the
things.
dam and do it?
Because it's smooth concrete, you can skate on. It's good. It's
crazy.
and you get hills, so you can kind of just go.
And then, like the idea is, in America, it's a more gradual slope, so it's more rampy than it is like directly straight down.
Correct. And then one of the guys took a massive fall, slammed his head in the concrete, and he's in a medically induced coma right now.
Ugh, gross.
Yeah.
I always
Wake
hate
up
the ones
call.
where you see them go over stairs, like when they jump at the top of the stairs to the bottom of the stairs.
Oh,
There's almost
yeah.
so high chance of injury.
Whenever they jump the stair sets, hectic, crazy,
Yeah.
psychopathic behavior.
Too keen. How many? Because you're a skateboarder, how many stairs are you jumping?
One.
He would
called a
jump
curb.
off the
Yeah.
skateboard to the ground.
Oh, I can do any number of stairs. I get off the skateboard, walk down, put it back on.
And then you clip the video so it looks like they're landing.
But there's speaking about like the helmet thing as well. You have like there's a very prominent skater right now in the culture called Andy Anderson. He does trick skating as well as show skating. He always wears helmets. Every time you see a picture of Andy Anderson doing anything, he's always wearing a helmet. In interviews, he's always talking about how he wants to normalize wearing the helmet culture.
It's good for kids and shit, right?
Correct.
Safety
He's a big
first.
role model for a lot of children skating. And honestly, good on him.
Yeah.
Because I have a helmet story as well. I picked up skateboarding probably close to 2 years now. 2 years back.
Expert.
Yeah, well, one step by the way. I was one of those people that was like, you know what? I don't need to wear a helmet. Helmets are lame. And then
Yeah, as like a mid-20s male, I feel like you should have been smarter than
I
that.
thought I was smarter than wearing a helmet. I was like, I won't
fall.
take a fall.
William, Kang's smarter than gravity.
Yeah, eat it, Isaac Newton. Because I've taken lots of falls from doing all sorts of things in the past, and
fine.
I've always been very good at protecting my head. So I never
Till
thought
the
that,
time
if I
you
take
fall.
a stack, I'm not going that fast. I'll just.
Protecting your head, man.
Hold
What
on.
are you doing?
I'm quite good at rolling.
Wow.
Kang just like walking down like an aisle at the shop, slips on some oil, and he does a full
Ninja
karate
dash.
roll away.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm imagining.
And then I did a heel bomb down actually very close here, down Hartman Drive.
That's
And
when
then-
you like fall off while you're going down a hill, right?
Correct, and I stacked it pretty hard. I actually bailed off my skateboard for safety because I was going so fast. I had the speed wobbles, and then I landed on my leg. My legs just collapsed underneath me, and I just took a full spin, slammed my head on the concrete, and I rolled. Yeah. And then I rolled, and I just it rolled. The momentum of the roll was so much, it put me back on my feet.
Holy moly!
Yes, I flipped. I rolled, flipped. So the back of my shoulder here took most of the brunt. And then my head just happened to also slam on the concrete. But my shoulder took most of the brunt, which is why I was able to kind of roll into my back.
If you have a helmet,
My hip took a lot of the second hit, and then I rolled back up.
So
And then I stood back up, and I was like, my skateboard zoomed off. Cars were going past me, right, on the side of the street. And I kind of stood there for a second. And I was like, yes, I will go buy a helmet. Because up on that point, I didn't buy a helmet yet.
I like that anybody driving their car would have seen you do it, and they're like, "Oh, that was amazing." He rolled back into a stand-up, and you're there like,
So skilled.
Yeah. And then I rolled back up to like Northern Boards later that time, and I went straight. Jackson was like, "What happened?" I went straight for the sink, just like cleaning myself up. My hoodie has a big tear in the back of it. Yeah, gnarly.
There you go.
But that's just like one of the many.
How quickly after that did you get a helmet?
Yeah, next day, I immediately went to Iconet Skateboards and bought a helmet.
Yeah,
Lesson learned.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. It's like it's one of these things. It's like a lot of the time, if you're not wearing the helmet, the time you learn the lesson is too late. So it's like you're the intermediary. Where
It's
you
why
learn
kids
it
gotta just
before
take a
it's too
fall.
late.
Then it'll be like wear a helmet.
Yeah.
So, but I was one of those kids that just took falls all the time. I got so many stories of taking falls.
What's the most embarrassing injury you've ever got?
Most embarrassing injury? I did fall off a tree and break my arm.
Classic.
But it wasn't even
that's
fall
a
off a
classic
tree.
little boy thing.
It wasn't even fall off a tree. We were wrestling on a tree.
like on a log that had been turned over, or like up in a tree. Ultimate extreme.
Because we watched a lot of wrestling growing up, and he grabbed me by the legs, and what's the move when you like grab someone by the legs and you lean back?
Oh yeah. I don't know what it's called,
And
but I
then
know
we
what you're saying.
Fell off the tree.
Yeah.
I took the brunt on my arm, but I was also in year
Was that
7.
a clean break?
It dislocated my elbow.
Oh, dislocated.
Yeah.
Oh, was it broken or dislocated?
I think it was dislocated. Actually, now that I think
Did you
about
get a cast?
it. I had to have a cast.
You had to. Well, it's
I
probably
needed a cast.
It'd be a break as well then.
Yeah.
You can obviously do both.
Yeah. Because what happened was I landed on my arms locked.
Maybe it's just like what's it called, fracture.
Oh yeah, true.
And then they had to put me in a cast and everything. That was
old
pretty
were you?
embarrassing. I was on the school oval.
School's rough.
Yeah.
How old were you?
Year 7.
Year 7.
So what, 12? And the doctors were like, thank God this happened when you were a kid because you just heal right
You just
past
heal right
it.
back up.
Like
Yeah.
Wolverine.
Yeah. But I've had plenty of, like when I was really young, I think maybe like 3 or 4, I took a fall once, both my front 2 baby tooths just gone.
Gone. Love that.
Yeah.
So there's some photos of Kang, little baby Kang, with just no front teeth.
Never have a record of it. Just happened. Yeah.
Shame.
And then
What we'll do is we'll paint the 2 front teeth black so we can get some photos of you now, and then we can like dress you up in like kids' clothes or something.
ooh, yeah.
So
That's for
random.
OnlyFans content. That's a fetish.
Wait, instead of only feet, it's no teeth.
Talking about occupational injuries as well. I had one when I was working at Sushi. This is actually probably the embarrassing story. This is the embarrassing one. I was showing one of the new girls how to like cut with a knife and how to do it in a way that wouldn't cut yourself.
Yeah.
And he cut himself.
Yeah, and then as I was demonstrating to her, I was like going pretty fast because I was like, I'm gonna
impress
I'm
this
gonna
cute girl.
impress this person.
Kang's like, I just met my wife.
Yeah, and then I proceeded to immediately slice into my finger like with a knife. It was
It's like that's like written in fate. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like the minute you try to like I bet you're like
I was talking about how like this is how you do it so you don't cut yourself.
like you're cutting away and you're looking at it, and then you look at her in the eyes and you're cutting and you're like, yeah, I'm expert, and then just shoof, lose a
Bang.
fucking pinky
and
finger.
it was like pretty gnarly because
they're sharp as shit.
it's a
right?
sharp knife, right? It's a sushi knife, and it wasn't a filleting knife, and thankfully, because that would have probably been a filleting knife is a clean cut. It probably would have been better. But I
Well, you
cut,
can hold the pressure together, yeah.
correct.
Cleans
And then
up.
I cut on my finger. It was pretty gnarly. I remember like being like, oh, maybe I need stitches. And then I had still had to work the rest of my shift, and I couldn't move my finger, so I took a chopstick, I broke it, I made a splint for my finger. I just
Whoa, jeez.
He's like, I've already made it look silly in front of you. Maybe if I could turn
I
the
got to
Bear
tough
Grylls.
up. I got to tough it up now. Put a glove
Power
on.
through the shift.
Put a glove on and just bandage that entire thing up. So for the entire shift.
Nice.
So how long did you guys date after that?
No,
She's like,
she wasn't impressed.
maybe not.
Yeah.
Although I've heard from people with like in the like chefs and stuff with filleting knives, sometimes you can go all the way through, and
That's the scary
It'll just
part.
take the skin
Yeah.
off.
Because
Just
you
like a
need,
big hunk.
especially for sushi filleting
I am glad that I'm not in FNB.
and hospo. Yeah.
Nem and I were moving the new fridge into Burger Boy the other week, and there's he's got this. It's like a magnetic strip that all the knives attach to on the side of the fridge, and we kind of forgot it was there, and we were wheeling the fridge around and laughing and like being us, kind of being little speds, and as we drove the fridge around, the magnetic strip like slipped a bit on the fridge, and all the knives are facing up so that they don't like accidentally fall straight down onto someone. But as we moved the fridge around, the magnetic strip kind of tilted, and we were both like, oh, we both jumped away from it. We're like, oh, we totally forgot this, like, because the magnetic strip has about 10 knives, all like super sharp knives all on it, and it's like a fucking, it's like a trap. Like, oh shit.
Well, you just remove it first.
Yeah, because we're silly boys.
Yeah,
Oh
because
my
silly
goodness.
boys
we just
not
want
paying
to be
attention.
fast, get the work done. Don't worry about safety procedures.
No. Step by step, step by step. Follow the SOP.
I know this has happened to you as well at Northern Boards. We have a like a receipt spike.
Yes.
Where you put all your receipts on the stuff. And
I'm
it's-
so worried I'm going to blind myself. On that
Yeah,
thing.
no, it's almost happened to me because this was the wake up call. We have one of the receipt spikes.
I'm sure there's a new invention for those things.
Yeah, the
now.
rubbish. Just put the shit.
Yeah, just put them in the
We
bin.
just put in the bin.
And then it's on the side of the table.
Yeah.
And then every now and again you'll drop something in the side of the table. I remember I dropped a pen and I instinctively went to go reach down for the pen.
Down the gap, yep.
And then
The spikes on
I
the side of
felt
it.
the spike, the receipt spike glide the side of my head where my eye is. And I was like, ooh, that could have been bad. Like a couple more centimeters and I would have stabbed myself in the eye.
Yeah, 100.
Big wake up call. Move the spike out of the way.
The time I did it, it knocked the headphone out of my ear.
You almost had new earring.
New
mate.
earring holes.
So the sports injuries just kind of happen, right? Like you play sports long enough, eventually you hurt yourself.
Yeah, I've done quite a few playing sports. I dislocated my jaw while playing rugby at Balcatta. They actually sent an ambulance.
What
to,
does a dislocated jaw feel like?
It was pretty bad, bro. It happened during rugby. I got a tackle, and I just remember being on all fours on the floor, and I was in so much pain. I went to yell, but the yelling made my jaw move, and then that hurt more. So I was like in this perpetual scream, and they sent an ambulance to relocate.
Attach?
Yeah, whatever.
Just shove it back in
Shove it
there?
back in, and they
They can just do that?
Yeah, well, anything that's dislocated can just be popped.
Because I
back
know
in.
if you dislocate a shoulder, you can't just shove it back in. You should get a doctor to do it
Well,
properly.
that's what they sent an ambulance to do it. So they sent there, and then they gave me the whistle, which is like the morphine whistle, and I'm sitting in the ambulance and I'm sucking on the morphine whistle, and my whole head went numb, and the ambo guy and one of my sports teachers were like chatting to each other, kind of like flirting with each other, and because we're both quite
Just
young.
in pain.
Yeah, they're both quite young. Well, at this point, I was super not in pain because of the morphine whistle, but my head was kind of like tilted back against the side of the like the chair thing. And I started choking on my own saliva that was building up in my throat. And the ambo guy finally noticed that I was choking, and he came over and tilted my head forward, and all the saliva came out of my mouth. But I was like, they're over there flirting, and I'm over here like just drowning on my own phlegm.
Real casual from the dock as well.
In the first week or two of being at Balcatta, one of us kicked the soccer ball. Somebody kicked the soccer ball over the fence into the swimming pool area. And the swimming pool area had garrison fencing, which is like that black square fencing with the spikes at the top.
Yeah.
So I thought, first couple of weeks of school, I'm in a brand new school, don't know anybody there. I was like, I'll just jump over the fence and get it. As I jump over the fence, the spike gets caught in the meat of my calf,
Ew.
and it stabs into the meat of my
Damn,
calf.
Fatality.
And I had to get stitches there.
The exact thing that we thought someone would. You know when you look at
The thing
those
it was
fences-
made for.
Yeah, the thing it was made for stabbing people.
Do you not watch Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
So that was in the first week, and I've got a scar on my inside my
And then
calf
young
here.
you would have looked at it and passed out.
Yeah, it was not ideal. The probably the most embarrassing injury I've ever had though was I'll give before you go into that one, I'll give a special mention. When I was like 6 or 7 years old, I dislocated my arm on the Macca's playground. So there was the Macca's playground at Mindari. It has a ladder going up and then slides coming off of the central ladder section. At some point, I was climbing up the ladder and then decided I was going to jump down the slide to go extra fast. So I jumped down the slide, but I didn't take my hand off the handrail. So as I jumped at full body weight, my hand was still attached to the handrail, so it just dislocated my arm.
That's hectic. You had hella grip strength as a kid.
And then I got to the end of the slide, and my arm was flopping around or like loose as I went down the slide. So I'm banging down the slide, and my arm's flopping around at the same time. And then because that Macca's is next to an elderly person's home, it's full of nurses. And a nurse put my arm back in at that time at that Macca's as well. And I was like, forever, like if they would talk about because smaller area, everybody would talk about the fact that I dislocated my arm
By just grabbing.
by just holding on to
Crazy,
things.
man.
My mum was like mad at me. She's like, just choose one thing. Like, why are you trying to climb?
That's
and go down
exactly
the
what
slide?
my parents would do. And that's the type of injury that if I injured myself in the exact way, my parents, after I heal up, my parents would beat me.
Yeah.
They would be like, don't do that again.
So I was in year 6, right? And This is a ridiculous story. Ridiculous. But I was playing chasey with some kids. And I'm in year 6. So I'm not even a small child. Like, I'm a big enough child. And for whatever reason, I'm wearing sunglasses and a football bladder, like AFL football bladder on my head like a helmet. So it's like the rubbery bit on the inside that blows up. It's been split and I'm wearing it like a helmet. So I look like a bit of a goober already, right? But I'm wearing sunglasses. Anyway, I chased this kid called Brett. Now, Brett was nearly half my size. He's like half my size. And he runs like down the fence line and under some trees. And I just follow him, not paying attention. Like I've got the sunglasses on. I've already got obscured vision because of this fucking football helmet thing. And I chase him. And he goes straight under the trees because he's nice and short. I don't really see it. It's like an older, like old gum tree full of like it's all dead as well, and all the sticks are coming out. And I run just straight into it. One of them hooks up here into my mouth, and it pulls up and it cuts it open here, like on this left cheek
like
here.
the Joker.
And
slices your cheek.
Yeah, slices it up by about 2 centimeters. And and it cut here perfectly, right? And it's next to, if anybody been to Queen's Primary, I feel like there's a few people here, like maybe Riley and stuff like that went to Queen's Primary, I'm not really sure. But the basketball courts where those are was right next to like a central netball, like open space where we play Foursquare and stuff. I wander out into the middle of that where everyone's playing Foursquare and running around. And I put my head down and I just pour blood. Like it's just pouring blood. And I see the blood coming out of my face, like going cross-eyed and looking down at the floor, hitting the floor, and I pass out standing up. So I'm like fully unconscious standing up while the blood's pouring out, and the teacher has to come over, and they had to like do microsurgery. I was one of the first kids in WA to get microsurgery at the new like section in Joondalup that they built, and they did like all this little microsurgery where they almost like weld the skin back together.
Whoa.
So you don't have as much scarring. Yeah. So you can see the scar a little bit here and in the joints of the mouth.
Hey, Danny,
and on the
You
inside.
don't have the stitches.
Danny can say this. Do you know how I got these scars?
But only 50%. He's got a smirk.
But it's like the teachers come over, I'm wearing sunglasses and a deflated football on my head, and I'm just pissing blood everywhere. They're like, what happened?
He ran to a tree and ducked. He Looney Tunes you. You were like Wile E. Coyote there.
That's true. And it's like, it's just
Oh my
so,
goodness. Danny,
so stupid.
you are
The way
a good
you're
example.
wording it, you've taken a fair few beatings up at school.
I've horrifically injured myself numerous
The
times.
teachers. Just this guy again.
The worst injury I've ever had, I've definitely
Did you have
told
a real nurse in your school? Because we didn't.
Hard to tell, actually.
I've never
Balcatta did.
Yeah, I
'cause it
never
was
had a
bigger
real nurse at school. I don't know if
I think like my kid's school has like a 2-in-1.
right.
Yeah.
They have a health teacher that also like read a manual somewhere.
No, not really.
They've got a time. It's a nurse, but you injure yourself. You're like, well, I just do mental health, all right? He's like, if you're feeling sad, come back.
Yeah. My school was a good riot. Turns out we had 2 pedophiles.
What?
Jesus.
I think I might have told this story already, but my school had a pedophile that got on the news. It was pretty.
When?
Even my year as well. It was my year.
Oh. Well, like a teacher though, right? Or the teachers like they would have shared years or whatever.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess, but it was relevant
feel
for
safe,
when I was
Kang?
in school. Well, I clearly wasn't cool enough to get molested. So
I don't know if we could say that.
yeah,
Crazy.
but we had one of the teachers who got on the news because he was dating the girl after she left school. He was a sports teacher.
Oh.
Makes sense.
How old? Older? Like a lot older or
I don't know. I actually can't remember. But he was, I think he was probably like, well, he's in his 20s. I reckon he was in his 20s when he was teaching.
So sub 30 though.
He's a sports teacher, right?
Okay.
And then
That
most,
makes sense, yeah.
most sports teachers I know of are like
Not in a
younger.
good way, but like I get it.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
stereotype of the sports teacher is either the younger guy or the dude that's in his 40s with a beer gut teaching sports, right?
Yeah, that's what I had every time. Yeah.
And then not only was it the sports teacher, but then I learned that it was also the maths teacher. Both of them got convicted and are in jail right now.
Holy moly.
So the maths teacher was also.
Did you go to a
pedophile.
good high school? You don't have to say which one. But
It was John Septimus Roy. It was a private school in Mirrabooka. It's like the cheap private school in the area.
yeah.
And the maths teacher was also convicted. And I think back to it, I'm like, the sports teacher and the maths teacher, that makes sense.
Why?
I get it.
I don't know. Like, I don't, like, as far as I know, I didn't have any dodgy teachers.
Yeah,
That's
you
some
should go
weird
back
ones.
and check
Yeah, maybe I should.
because I got plenty of.
Maybe I should've.
I got plenty of friends that always talk about.
What do I
how-
know? What if I block some things out?
I reckon plenty of students just like. Well, I reckon plenty of teachers just went under the radar way
Yeah.
back in the day. Now it's more known.
I bet before the age of the internet, there was a lot of people that were less safe about their dodgy practices. You know what I mean? Like, because even when I was a kid, and I know definitely when you were a kid, William, before that, you could get away with stuff. I'm not saying you should get away with stuff, but you could get away with stuff because who's going to catch you? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like, it's funny. I've got a report on my phone on the way here, right? So I follow a team called the Tottenham Hotspurs for football, right?
Yeah.
And they've just had their best midfielder has been banned for 7 games for saying some like stupid racist shit. And he's Argentinian, and on an Argentinian TV show in Argentina, speaking Argentinian, he said a thing about his Korean captain, and they're joking about, and he says about how picking Son, because Son's probably the most prolific Korean footballer of all time. Like, he's an incredible player. He's one of the best like footballers, like strikers that's in the current EPL. And they were joking. They made a joke, and the guy, like him and the guy have been almost played together for the last like 8 years or something like that. So there's like they know each other. And he made a joke to the other guy about the Koreans looking the same. And it got picked up. It happened in June, and it's got slowly pushed through. And the EPL like had to really come down and do something serious because it's an incredibly stupid and racist thing to say, right? Especially about a team member and like a race thing. And the EPL, like it's the English Premier League, is like hyper like anti-racism. Like it's on every piece of material they have, because it's like the no room for racism is like their number one tagline that has been for like a decade now. And it's for good or for ill. Like, the English Premier League has people from almost every country in the world playing. And I'm like, you're talking about like every country in the world. And they really came down and banned him for 7 games, which is massive. Like, they might be getting paid $400,000 a game, so he's not going to get paid that. Plus, they banned him. They fined him another 100,000 pounds. So it's like about 200 grand Australian, right? And it's the thing is like, because he said it in his country in a different language, maybe 10 years ago, he would never even come out. Like, no one's got records of it. No one's going to be able to be watching that kind of thing. But the age of the internet, it came out almost instantly, even though it's like, in a different language, in a different country, within minutes, it's on the internet, and you've done that. And it's like, absolutely, he should get banned and done for this thing. But it's that crazy thing is like, kids could get away with a lot more when I was 15 than they can now. And I'm sure the people that are 15 years older than me, it was a whole different world where there was like no records of anything. You know what I mean?
Kids are so connected now. It's crazy. It feels like there's very little privacy. All the kids are in some sort of giant group chat. There's group chats set up for the school as well. Every kid is connected via like Snapchat, Instagram. And then the other day the crazy thing.
I thought they're not allowed on social media.
That ban has just happened. So
Has it only just happened?
Yes,
Yeah.
they've just banned kids.
Under 16.
It hasn't even been implemented yet.
So
but
what's the ban?
So kids aren't allowed to have social media under the age of 16.
As in federally?
Yeah.
As in
yeah.
just-
yeah.
That's
So
it.
kids just can't make an account.
What?
What, kids just aren't allowed to make an account at all?
Yeah, legally they're
I
not allowed
wonder
to
how
have
they.
one.
I wonder how they enforce that. This could be hard.
Well, it's
Because
up to the parents to then enforce it on their children.
Gotcha. Because in countries like Korea, your internet access is managed by a social security number. So, for example, kids have curfews.
Yes.
So you have to access the internet with your social security number. And then if it's like, oh, it's over 12 o'clock, sorry, no internet for you. That's how it
good.
works.
It makes so much sense. And
I mean, it sounds like controlling, but it's good though.
well, I think, and you're right. Like,
I get where you're coming from.
It can sound oppressive, but it'd be a lot easier for parents, me as a parent, to be like, this is the rules. We're going to follow the rules. Than like me trying to convince Lucas like why he can't play FIFA until midnight on a Saturday night. You know what I mean? Like, he shouldn't. But when I was a kid, I was playing WoW until fucking 4 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? But I also was pretty law abiding. So if I got shut down, I probably wasn't going to navigate
I feel
away.
like you had the
around it.
wherewithal to also understand that you should still go to bed at certain times.
Yeah,
to at
yeah.
least get a sleep pattern.
Yeah.
There's plenty of kids that overindulge.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
And I generally can't remember who said it, but it's a really famous saying about overindulgence is the highest form of self-destruction, because it's like,
Correct.
You 100% know that the thing you're doing is bad. Like, I know when I grab a candy bar, I think it's not the thing I should be doing. I know when I go to sleep too late, I shouldn't be doing it, and all I'm doing is messing up my next day. Too much sugar, not enough sleep, all that kind of stuff. It's like, I'm absolutely just punishing myself for a tiny bit of enjoyment now.
there's a saying that I've heard as well is you're borrowing from tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely.
And you really
The
shouldn't be
stuff
doing
with
that.
the sleep thing,
You're just
absolutely.
loaning something, right? You have to pay it back in some form one way or
With
another.
interest.
With interest as well.
Which is why Kang was a legend and let me do my truck delivery at 9 o'clock tonight instead of doing it after the podcast.
When you walked in with a bleeding leg, I was like, this was a good choice. It was just-
Yeah, that's true. I asked you prior. Actually, I probably would have injured myself, but I asked you prior to knowing how bad the injury was.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like you just have to have some sort of control, regardless.
There's another thing I wanted to touch upon was social media, such as I don't know if Instagram does it, but Snapchat definitely. Where if you have your location services turned on, you can have a Snap Map where everyone knows where everyone is at all times.
Yeah, we touched on this. I think we spoke about it ourselves the other day. It was like,
what a
isn't that the
nightmare.
craziest thing?
Yeah,
and I know
you know
so many
exactly
people that just do it. And you're like, what?
You just know where your friends are, if they're hanging out at home, if they're going somewhere, if they're at a mate's place. Because we have one of the hooligans of the markets, Daniel. You know, he's actually not bad. He's getting older. He's getting more mature now. But he'll hang out and talk to
He's
himself.
a kid that just needs a big brother. That's what Daniel is.
Yeah,
He just needs some. He needs some positive, older influence.
Because he
on him.
only has an older sister, which
she's quite a bit older, I think, right?
quite a bit older.
Yeah.
She
So
really is just doing her own thing now.
I feel like with siblings, once they go too far, it's really hard to have any influence on them. Like I'm 10 years older than my sister, and it's such a big gap. It's like now as adults we get along really well, but as kids, the whole time I'm being a kid, I'm so far removed from her as a child. It's like it's hard to relate. You know
There's
what I mean?
no shared experience to kind of grow together.
Absolutely, yeah.
But he'll show me his Snap Map, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so mad at like her because she said she was like there was nothing going on, and she went to this party. I know she did because on Snap Map I could see her.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
what the fuck? You can just know if like people are hanging out somewhere. As a kid, there's no privacy.
Yeah, and
What a nightmare.
What a induction on like
they choose to not have privacy, not.
They choose not to.
Yeah.
but
also
it's
as
also
a-
because that's the social norm,
I
right?
feel like as kids, you're like, whatever. They download it when they're like probably like 11 years old. They don't know how to read the terms and conditions.
Yeah,
I
They
mean,
just
like
get accepted everything. Until
that's
they're
why
in
you have
the app.
parents, right?
True.
Yeah, but not like and like it's hard though. Like Lucas is at school all day, and then like there's so much time where you're not with him. You can't.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, I understand that one. That's why I'm glad that I could.
Yeah.
I pick my kids to school. I pick them back from school. I watch. I mean, it feels like I'm there. I'm there all the time. So you don't need.
But parents
any
can
of this.
still only be 50%. The other 50% is up to them still.
Not really.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if this is a real study or a fake study, but I saw this whole video thing where it was about how their parents' influence is less than 17%.
Yeah.
Because it's like your teachers most of the time, the other kids there
Correct.
around.
But if
It's
you don't have
definitely-
a phone, how do you influence though?
I
Yeah,
guess.
it's
But what
true.
I'm trying to say is,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you say it's up to you, but if you don't have a phone,
but even if it's
how
not
are you going to find a phone?
necessarily,
Yeah.
not necessarily like phone related, but I know from my own experience, the more controlling my parents were, the more I would not
Push
tell
back a
them and
bit.
push back
Yeah,
and do
yeah.
rebel. And like the way because I turn out now is more like because they were the control.
Well, the thing is, you got to have balance, right? If,
Of course.
If you don't, I mean,
you still have to do it, right?
I mean,
Because the best you can do is educate.
I mean, I'm not gonna like control full. You can't do everything. You can do it in moderation. Like you want to watch television, yes, sure, but in moderation.
Yeah.
You wanna? I mean, I wouldn't give my kids phone. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
yeah. I think
Number
that's-
one.
I think that's a big one.
I think as long as you don't go to the internet, that's fine.
Well, they're making like dummy phones. You can give your kids like real dummy
Just
phones.
give it a Nokia.
That just all it does is text and phone number. That's dial. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
No,
I don't
apps,
need to
nothing.
because I pick my kids from school. So
Yeah, exactly.
why do you need a phone?
Because I didn't have a phone until I was like 16. I
You
reckon.
don't need a phone until you are working. There's no reason for you to have a phone unless you're working.
Yeah, I get that.
What kind of area did you grow up in? Malaysia, Will? Was it like metro, like built up,
Yeah, I'm staying in like full, like
middle of the city?
full on. Yeah.
So when you're like, same thing, were you picked up every day from school or did you have to walk home and stuff?
No, I took the bus.
Took the bus.
Yeah.
What age did you start doing that?
Year 3.
By yourself or with your family?
With my sister.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
she's older than you?
Yeah.
But the pressure's on now because
You never had any like trouble navigating that by yourself, or she was like pretty good with your sister with you?
No, that's fine. Yeah. I was pretty mature.
I feel like that builds like a level of like
Independence,
Independence.
But because
yeah.
then, okay, the thing is, the part where it's good then is we don't have any of these distractions.
Yes, other things, yeah.
There's no distractions. So it's straight there, straight back. So in the bus, there's nothing else to do but to sleep. That's all you
You're just
do.
staring out the window,
All
looking
you
at the
play
same
with
thing.
your bus tickets. That's it. That's
But the pressure's on
entertainment.
because I feel like everyone has a phone. So your kids are kind of in this situation where they're really going to
That's
be
how
pushing
you train. Like you really like. I feel like this is something that you really have to like self. This is your self.
It's a governance
Yeah,
thing, yeah.
You gotta really know what is your self worth, your self esteem, right? If you don't have any self esteem, like you're always gonna fall, irregardless of what your position is. Same thing like exactly right now, if in this position, if all your friends have this, you feel a little bit pressure.
Yeah.
So for me, I just don't care. That's,
I guess you have to teach your children.
you have to teach yourself as well.
Mm.
Like you really have to. You just fall into the trap. Like if all your friends buying designer
It's about
stuff.
understanding what is
Yeah.
right versus what everyone else is doing.
It must be what
Correct.
Kang feels like when we're really good at magic and he's not, and he has this pressure.
Yeah, I know.
to be
I
better.
gotta keep competing.
I won Highlander tonight, didn't I?
Yeah, you 3-0.
Oh, yeah, 3-0.
Congratulations.
I want to challenge Kang and Highlander. Kang decided to do something else, which is not work. Looking at game reviews.
Well, only for a brief moment.
Whoa,
I had to
whoa,
check.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
I for Highlander tonight, I played the first round, and then I have to go do my delivery, so I subbed out. And poor Johnny Coins was did pretty well in his first round, so he was going to come up and play me.
Yeah.
And arguably, he has a much better chance of beating me because I'm, a bit more shitter in general than Kang is. But when John sat down and Kang had to play him, and he got his face stomped. Who'd you play for round 3?
Luke.
Oh yeah, no, Luke's been
Luke-
doing well. I think Luke won last week as well, eh?
I think so as well.
Yeah.
But we had a pretty good game because Luke I won round 1 and Luke won round 2. So we went through round 3. So it was a 2-1 victory my side. So
Did you finish in time, or you kind of buried out of
finished
it?
in time?
Nice.
Yeah.
You played your Jund?
I did.
You just controlled him into the ground.
Just what I'm familiar with. I've been playing for a while.
You want to play a thing? Not today, little boy.
Exactly. I describe the deck like it's an anaconda. It keeps constricting more and more and more until you fall to the value. But you were talking about children with phones, and these days there's a term on the internet called brainrot, where
Yeah,
the
yeah.
more
Right.
you consume this kind of
funny,
fast media content.
And this is why I'm glad. Like my daughter, my eldest, her main hobby now is reading.
It's good.
So
that's
So
I think
every-
that's a huge.
So
important
every
aspect.
week we have to go to the library because
Yeah.
I'm getting broke buying her books.
That's all. Like having
really
the,
getting broke.
the trip down to the library and the ability, as you can do outings to the Perth Library and the Joondalup Library where they've got really big ones and stuff like that. Doing that together and being able to create a thing out of it. That's the one thing that I do miss from my childhood is because everything was sparsely spread out, right?
Yeah.
So when we
You
wanted
couldn't
movies,
just have the thing.
yeah,
you'd
have to go to Blockbuster. And if you wanted to go to a park, you'd have to travel somewhere to the park or a water park or these hobbies that we had. It was like an adventure to go do it. And it seemed inconvenient. But now I realize that things are more convenient. A lot of the specialness is taken away. Like the not having video easy means that everything's on Netflix. So instead of driving down to the thing and that being part of the time frame and being together with my son, now we just sit there and pick a movie and then we're all asleep in 10 minutes.
Well,
it's not as magical by
As
a lot.
a kid, some of my most fondest memories is going to the library and discovering new series or new books and
The Del Toro quests.
you bet. Or even just
Did you have Del Toro quests, William? Was that
What's
too?
that?
It's like
classic Australian young adult book.
it was like a choose your own
Actually, no, it's
adventure book.
like a young teen book.
Yeah, young teen.
I don't know. My kid loves fantasy books.
Yeah,
Like,
similar idea. Del Toro
You
Quest
should-
was fantasy.
Man, I'll try. I'm gonna find some Del Toro quest books and I'll gift them to your children. It was
Is
pretty.
it appropriate for like a
Yeah,
9-year-old?
it's made for it was in the primary school library, and I feel like every Australian primary school library had it in there.
Everyone
And,
knows the book covers.
yeah.
They had very iconic book covers.
Yeah, and it was like kind of like choose your own adventure kind of deal.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
then-
pretty good.
Because you would all have this classic tale of you go to the library and you're trying to find you find book 2, but you can't find book 2. There's only 4 and then 6 and,
And
then
especially
8.
pre-internet, whereas you have to use those crappy
Terminals to order
Yeah,
them
the
in.
libraries the library
Yeah.
computers until
Fond
Windows
memories.
92.
There's
or
so
something.
many things that I wouldn't enjoy in my current life if it wasn't for me stumbling upon them as a kid in a library.
I think my greatest challenge now is how long can I prevent internet?
I think that's a huge one because reading is so good. Reading develops your child's
Yeah.
knowledge as well as teaches them patience and so many good skills as well.
So
Vocabulary.
I don't although my kids never, they have an I own the iPad, but they can use it only for their schoolwork.
Yeah.
And that's all.
How old are your kids right now? William?
9 and 5.
Yeah, yeah.
So both of them can't use the
So
iPad.
no YouTube, nothing like that.
No. YouTube is totally banned.
I get it.
It's full ban.
For the longest-
everything that they watch, I have to watch first.
Yeah.
So I vet it through. I think it's okay. You can watch it.
So your
makes
kids are watching a lot of card opening boxes.
No. No YouTube.
Yeah.
No YouTube. Yeah. So I initially they were able to access to YouTube, and then suddenly I was like, when I watch what they're watching. Like, hey, this doesn't feel right, and then I just completely ban YouTube.
Yeah, where's the like inherent value of what they're getting out of it, right?
Yeah,
At least
true.
with reading, they're like, there's comprehension, they're learning words, they're, it's like a scholastic kind of thing. With YouTube, it's just
Content
shit's
and,
piled
and
into
even
their brain.
cartoons, right? So certain cartoons, I'm okay with it, like as long as they have facts, like there's this
Like you're
there's-
getting life lessons.
Yeah,
You're learning
correct.
something.
Like stuff like there's this cartoon called Octonauts. And at first I was like, hey, this is fake ass. And then I actually Googled it, like, what on earth? There's lobster climbing mountains. I'm like, no way. And then I Googled it, it's correct. It's in Australia too. I'm like, no way.
Oh, so it's like little bits of like geographic history and
correct.
like animal
then,
history and stuff.
And it
in
will
there,
tell like, oh, these
education.
lobsters climb mountains. They're like, bullshit.
The only fact I was learning from cartoons as a kid was I want to be a superhero.
Yeah, all mine were like Angry Beaver and like that kind of stuff. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
exactly.
I'm pretty happy with like stuff, but yeah, I definitely want to control the content that's going in.
I especially get it. For the longest time, I've been trying to avoid that instant gratification content, TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, and I used to never watch them. But in the last, I want to say, few years, I felt myself fall to victim of just like scrolling through Instagram.
When you
'Cause
start, it's like
instant,
10 minutes
fast.
later, and you're like, what just
It was
happened?
called doom scrolling.
Yeah.
You kind of just sucked in and keep going because your brain wants the next hit. Your brain wants the
Means
next quick
it work.
Yeah, because it wants to the next, like, oh, what is the next video? What is the next video? I'll stop after the next video. And then I've been trying to unbrain rot myself.
Yeah.
I picked up a book again recently to kind of just like slow my
You know
brain
how
down.
to unbrain rot? Just
Yeah.
delete the app.
I don't have the apps right now.
Oh, okay,
I
cool.
just straight up don't have TikTok.
I don't have TikTok
Mm-hmm.
either, but I do have Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. But I use it for work constantly.
We have to have
It's hard
Instagram
to
and
get away
Instagram.
from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same.
And I'll tell myself, I'm like, oh, I'm looking for things to use, and I'm like, but it's like there's all the junk in between.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
When I used to work up north, there'd be days, like multiple days, where I have no reception, and a big part of it is not having the workload as well, because like I couldn't take phone calls, I couldn't reply to emails, and like I've got an iWatch, an Apple Watch, and like you get the notifications of emails on there. It's so easy to just try and get back. But for 3 or 4 days, I'd go with zero reception. Oh, what a fucking dream. Like it was honestly like within a day, like a little bit of anxiety at the start, but within a day or two, it's just like it's crazy how much your
detoxed
brain
yourself.
Yeah, your brain clears up. There's not as much attention needing, and you can like do little things, and like every time kind of just slows back down again.
You stop relying on I'm going to grab my phone because I have a moment.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, whenever you have an empty moment, you can just be like, hey, I can just scroll and occupy myself real quick.
I always try to do that because every now and again I'll take Lucas on the truck, or we'll go somewhere, and I go like WA is like quite a pretty place. Definitely nowhere near as like opulent as say like New Zealand or Canada or like some of these amazing places, even like over east, right? But some very beautiful like hills and greenery and like things to see. And we'd go for a drive, and I'd drive, up into the hills through like the flower sets and stuff. And I'd be like, just look, and he's just not, he doesn't care.
Take
You know
a
what I
quick
mean?
moment to just appreciate.
Yeah,
life.
absolutely. Yeah. And it's just like, it's like that.
It's definitely a challenge right now in current era.
Trying to read a book right now is a current challenge for me.
Yeah.
I picked up a book and I had to reread the first page like 3 times.
I was an avid reader when I feel the same way. It's like, I want to read it and I still can't do it. Like
I used to read hardcore. Every time I would go to the library, come back and spend my entire day reading a book or magazine or anything, right?
I just feel my time with work. I don't have time for like I
Would you be able to find, say, like, I don't know, an hour before going to bed? Or
No.
like even 30 minutes?
no.
Yeah.
I've been trying to for weeks.
No,
and I still
I
can't.
want to play my PlayStation. That's all I want to do.
Yeah.
It's collecting dust.
How like do you even get an hour a week with it?
Nope.
Do you have any games on your PlayStation?
A lot.
You've been buying games?
Yes.
Why?
Because I want to play.
Because you're tricking yourself that there's a future where it happens.
Yes.
it's the
Danny
hope.
is correct.
That's why I buy Warhammer. Like I collect Warhammer, and why I buy cards, because I'm like,
Yeah.
it's
One day. One day.
it's a little bit of therapy. Like instead of just pretending like I have zero time to
I
myself.
can afford it. I just don't have time to play it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And even now we'd be like, oh, I see you played a game the other day, and I was like, I was here teaching Tom's mate how to
You know
play
what's
Magic.
the shittiest part? You one day miracle happens. You get time to play your PlayStation. You switch it on. Update 1 hour. Hey, thank you, bro.
I'm always like with Total War. Like I'll go to I'll instead of going to bed at like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, like I should do, I'll be like, oh, go to bed at 11. And I turn the fucking thing on. Steam's like multiple updates. I'm like, ugh.
I'm getting ready to kind of get my life consumed by Total War again, because any moment now they're gonna drop the Nagash DLC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
or the
are.
Legions of the Dead.
I literally did this the other day. I loaded up and I was going to play and I had updates, but there's hot fixes and there's some like new characters and stuff. Like they're putting in all the Chaos Warriors, which looks very cool, like the Corn guys. And I spent my time reading the hot fixes. That was the total of my
What you
free time.
described there, exactly what I'm finding myself becoming, like almost tricking myself to enjoying video games is rather than the aspect of playing games itself, it's just enjoying the hype that goes back. I find myself getting really excited for a new game to come out, and I'll get in the fandom, I'll talk about things, and when the game actually comes out, I'll have it in my cart and I'll be like, oh, I'm not buying this. I don't
He
have time for
buys it
this.
just to refund it to make him feel like he did the thing.
No, I
and then
bought it.
and then I
It's
get loaded into the next series of hype, and that's my kind of, because that's what happened to Space Marine 2. Space Marine 2,
I played it halfway. I actually invested my time and played it because I have the PlayStation Portal, right? So I can play PlayStation while in my bed.
yeah.
Oh, yes, you mentioned
Yeah.
that.
And then I play with it, and I'm like, oh, no time anymore because like the work is getting heavier, and then it was just like just died off. And then you know what I did? I went to YouTube and watched the final gameplay. So I felt like I played the game.
That's what that's what the kids are doing now. You know what I mean? They just watch the guy playing. We
I watch it because I just want to know the story. Like, I'm not gonna reach here, but one day.
I did that because when I was like in high school, I played predominantly WoW, right? And I did some other things like Skyrim and
I bought
Halo.
WoW too.
But I did like I did the
Collecting
WoW
dust.
thing. So instead of playing other games, I would just read the synopsis on Wikipedia. I did that with so many games because like I'm not gonna play it. I'll read the thing.
I get sucked into the
It's
fandom
sad.
of things and enjoy all the what goes into it, and then I never actually commit and play it.
Yeah.
Like I think I've experienced the entirety of Space Marine 2 without playing Space Marine 2.
I bet you've had a bit of it told to the side of your ear as well.
I bet people will talk to me about it.
always
sing
that.
off about it.
It's either you have time to play, you just can't buy it, right? Or you can buy it, but you just don't have time to play it.
Yeah.
If you had time right now, William,
Yes.
what is the game you want to play? More Space Marine 2 or you're done?
I don't know.
Yeah?
I want to get him back and play WoW.
I want to
just
play
play
WoW.
suck in there.
I actually subscribe to WoW. I'm still subscribed to WoW.
I just want to do it for with the people like Cal was playing it from the Patreons. Graham was playing. Graham's away back in Canada at the moment, but I just want to get back in with the group and do it with the people. I think that's a big thing. Riley, who is a Patreon and comes to the club, his older brother is my age, and I went to high school with him, and he was one of my WoW friends, like that I knew in person and was like in high school with, that played WoW at the time. So I might hit him up and see if they're still dicking around. Like I could maybe scoop a couple hours on a Monday, and it's like all I just want is like a couple hours a week where I can sit on there the
motivator is when you have people expecting you.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so I try not to let people down. It's like, but it's like if I can get on there and just spend a couple hours like chatting with people, at least I feel like I'm doing something with the community. You know what I mean? But I keep trying to say vent, but it's not vent. It's fucking Discord now.
So much time though. Like I still have to play One Piece like competitively as well because
I guess real life hobbies and events have taken over video game time.
Yeah, I guess for us, yeah, for sure.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I want to play One Piece. I want to play this. I guess I got to pick and choose, right? So the most important one that I put a lot of money in now is One Piece. So I've just definitely have to like put more effort into it as well.
The adult hobby time is much lower, and especially because you did really badly at Adelaide, William. You're gonna have to like practice a lot to get better, right?
It's okay. I already accept the fact because
I saw a good comment from you as well. William opened his 5th God Pack. So that's another $8,000 for William over there. Very nice. But someone in the comment section was, what did you trade to get this luck? And William was, I'm cursed to never get top 8.
everybody's like, yeah, I'll take that too.
Can never get top 8.
How do you end up with the God Pack if you're not getting top 8?
No, the God Pack is
like,
pulled. It's just
you have
a
to
random
open the pack. Yeah. So in
got it.
what is it called? The God Pack is when you open the pack, right? So every single card in the pack, it's a manga. So manga is like the highest rarity you can get from a case.
So when you're looking at the pack, can you tell it's that, or you don't know
No,
until you
you
crack
don't
it
know
open?
until you open it.
Got it. So if like we're selling them in a box here, people won't know. They just have to pick it up
Yeah,
randomly.
correct.
Yeah, interesting.
It's a lottery.
So once you open it, you know it.
What's the if you get there's a box, and in every box, I assume there's in a case there's usually 6 boxes, right? Is that
10,
correct?
10.
There's 10, and then
12.
No, for PRB it's 10.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So will there be one in every 10 or is
No.
it- what's the rough
All right,
one?
all right. So this is the thing, right?
I guess you can make way more of an educated guess.
So no. I was really lucky.
So you're off skew, you're too high.
Yeah, I'm like over the charts.
Yeah.
So my friends opened 15 case. That's 150 boxes, right?
yeah.
Zero.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Zero manga.
And you've got 8.
No, hold on. You can either hit the God pack or the manga, which is the Nami, right? One of the cards. So either or. So you
Bear
either
in
hit
mind,
the
both
God.
of them are good pulls.
Yeah.
It's just one is significantly better.
Yeah.
Got it.
So they got nothing. Well, zero, nada.
I've
Right?
seen a lot of people open the boxes and boosters here on all the boards. Zero got packs.
Zero.
Yeah.
My rate is 5.4. So I have 5 God packs, 4 manga Namis. Yeah, that's highest.
You've just stolen the entire state's worth
So
of cards.
my friend's like, when I met him in Adelaide, I got a friend that's like, "Whoa, how many years of life you gave away, bro?"
It's that demon pack he's made. You know what I mean? Like he in the back of if you look in the photos where he's holding the God pack, is there like a shadow just like over?
This is why William's immortal, and he's been around alive since the
Duck
1800s.
Deal. You know, there's a card called Duck Deal.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
on Amazon audiobooks, the Warhammer horror
Oh wait,
novel.
I gotta stop you for a moment.
Yeah.
So Black Friday is up now. Webcams are going cheap now on Amazon.
Yeah.
Well,
So if you-
what's that thing over there?
We have one of our members, Tom. He's lended us his webcam as a
Oh, yeah,
trial
where?
for us. It's stored somewhere.
That cord right on top of the printer.
Yeah, right there above the printer.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I want to
Not
do a
bad.
I want to do a trial with a webcam before we commit and buy a webcam.
Sure.
Because I'm still not sure if a phone would be better or webcam would be better.
No, definitely webcam.
Because the only thing is,
What if I hire a guy with a big camera and like one of those suits where it navigates around?
perfect. We'll steal his passport.
How on earth are you gonna fix that to that?
Oh, tape.
What?
Tape. Well, the main thing I'm concerned about is the webcam's ability to autofocus. Because when you're doing box openings, your phone has to focus up and down because you're lifting cards to the camera lens.
Yeah, I'm with you. And you're
It
saying a
should be
phone does
because
that.
OBS. Because we use webcam for gameplay, like online gameplay, right?
It's part of it is the physical camera lens itself needs to be able to adjust. That's why
well, depending on the camera, is that if you have like a lousy webcam, then of course it won't do the job,
course.
right?
Well, I guess we test run with this one, and if we want to like upgrade, we
we can
upgrade.
commit. Correct. So, speaking about the box openings, I uploaded the Magic Foundations box opening on YouTube. I think we're sitting about like 140-ish views so far. Not bad. I'm really trying to keep the momentum going.
I tried to watch it when he uploaded the other day while I was at work, and it was that first 35-degree day, and my phone overheated in 2 minutes
my
and shut down. So the first few minutes was funny where Tom couldn't pronounce the word magic. That was good.
And then we have a mystery booster 2-box
Nice,
opening
nice.
as well.
Nice.
So I had to look through unboxing YouTube for Magic, and honestly, not crazy.
Oh, really?
Like the setups they have aren't anything too
No,
far off
it's
what
just
we
simple.
I guess like the Pokemon cards and stuff where that's like that kind of navigates around
No,
most. They're more like the opening is more a part of
have.
the
I was
hobby.
real embarrassed how like amateurish my setup was, but after
No,
seeing
no.
other people's setups, not
Now
different.
the hit online is not box openings; it's like pack wars.
What's the pack war?
So it's like TikTok, right? So they sell packs and they open it. So like,
like auction them
Mr.
off,
Kang,
yeah.
you bought 5 packs. We're gonna open for 5 packs right now. So they open your packs, and then if you see a hit, like, oh, we're gonna send it to you.
Yeah,
But
they mail it out after.
The key word you said there was TikTok. A lot of the content that is doing well right now is short content.
Yeah,
fast
TikTok.
short content like TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube
Crazy.
Shorts.
Crazy.
So me
We'll just take the
uploading-
podcast and we'll split it up into 100 pieces and put it on TikTok.
Perfect. Yeah, me uploading a YouTube video that was 30 minutes long is like old timey.
Yeah.
It's like way past the dates.
Only if you're playing Space Marine 2, it will be working.
Well, that's how do people consuming that? Are they like they're doing something else and they're propping the YouTube up at the same time? Like, is that how you?
I think most content creators will
'Cause people
upload a
wanna
video
see the
and then
hits.
also have the highlights on YouTube Shorts.
They just want to see the hits.
And you see a hit, you scroll past it and move on.
Do you guys use YouTube on like a daily basis?
Yeah.
No, not really.
My brain rot is that I can't.
I'm on Facebook more.
Yeah, my brain rot is that I can't actively like do things.
Do
around
one
the
thing,
home.
you gotta do a second
I
thing?
always have something going in the background.
Yeah.
So I'm always having some video going in the background I'm listening to as well.
I'm glad because when I work, my phone has to be on a different screen. I can't be on the video.
Gotcha.
So like I need to check eBay, right? So I will have my phone on certain data on eBay,
Yeah.
which I need to have on the screen, so I can't watch anything.
Yeah,
on
I have got
no distractions.
peak brain rot happening because I have 3 monitors at home. So I have
just cut down to one.
I have what is going on my main screen right now, whatever I'm doing, and then I have a video going on one side, a podcast, and then I have Spotify going the left screen as well.
Yeah.
So I've got left ear Spotify, right ear podcast, eyes something. And
I
I'm just,
definitely got more productive going
overstimulating
down
my-
to one screen as well.
I'm
I used to have
turbo
just one screen.
overstimulating my brain.
I used to want to have 2 screens. Now just one.
No,
white
I can't
screen.
go back to one screen anymore. So
No, you
I got
have
a
to.
triple screen that bad boy.
Just white screen. White
Yeah.
screen. I have like a 34 white.
Ultra
Enough.
wide's very nice.
Yeah.
But now I'm trying to detox my brain. So I'll report back in a few weeks' time if I've successfully detoxed.
Sell
and
of your monitors.
feel like I've slowed down because I'm trying to pick up books again and just do general like well-being life things.
What I found for me, because I've had to do this over time as well, because it's more trying to navigate away some of the work stuff at non-work times. But the more organized I am and the more I plan things, the easier it is to leave some of the bad habits behind. Like I'm like, all right, this is the time that I check my emails, and then this is the time that I have dinner with my family. If I stick to those, then there's less time in between to fill with the shit, if that makes sense. And it's like if I do the emails at the time that I say I'm going to do it, at least that's the time that I do it. I don't feel guilty for doing it when I should be with family or doing something else. And I feel like this feels like the same way with bad habits, like scrolling through TikTok. It's like if you read for an hour before bed or even half an hour, so just make the chunk. At least you definitely, if you're that's your time you read, then you're definitely not doing that other thing, which is the less productive thing of like scrolling through TikTok or whatever. You know what I mean? And I think the more organized you are, the better results you have.
What had a funny inverse effect was I was sitting down to get ready to paint my Dante. So for the competition we have among the 3 of us, we've all
Come on, boys.
So I finally
the
sat
hell,
down.
bro?
I finally sat down to get my Dante painting.
I already done it like a month ago.
I was getting my first layer on and everything, and I was
Should we just give William another thing to paint?
yeah, I know, right? You got another one, William? Another?
Well,
you gotta catch up.
wait, do you guys finish first? I don't want to be ahead.
Sorry, you're about Dante.
Anyway, I put a video on. I wanted to watch the new Invincible season 2 on Amazon Prime. So I
So instantly fucked himself. Like
Well, that's the
he
thing.
instantly inhibited himself.
So I was like, I put it on the video on, and I completely got distracted watching the video. Amazon hit me with the ad. I was like, snap. My brain was like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm watching an ad. I turned the screen off.
Now,
I
if you
stopped
want to
watching.
paint, I feel like the
Amazon
only-
ad,
Wait.
I hate it, but it did me a favor.
Wait,
Yeah,
hold on.
yeah,
If you want to paint, I think the best like entertainment to have is just music.
yeah.
Well, what I do when I paint is I put like paint YouTube.
No,
Like-
no,
like-
no, 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 no,
Nah,
no,
'cause
no, no,
that's
no,
that's
no.
information.
Okay.
You got to
Wait,
pay
wait,
attention
wait.
to it.
No. Music. Focus.
No, I'm not at that stage yet. My brain is still too rotted.
Nah, like if you want to like paint paint, and then just you want like something.
Kane's
on the
brain's
background.
like the Nurgle version where
Just
he
music.
like accepts the rot.
When I was painting that time, I just put on music straight up, like no distractions. I don't want to hear anything else. I just want to hear music.
I'm
you need
I'm
white
still a
noise,
little
right?
too like turbo brain right now. So, but I'll try. I definitely want to get there.
Do you think that comes out of like doing all your uni exams where your brain has to be doing like 5 things at once anyway?
Maybe, but it's better if I don't. It's better if I focus on my studies. So,
Maybe we're just way too overstimulated in general. Just
think so.
way too
as
overstimulated.
an adult, it's hard not to be, right?
Yeah. I think
You
so.
know how to be not stimulated? Sort cards.
Hey, you want what else as well? I saw in a chart. I don't know if any sources, but it was like top 10 attractive hobbies according to women, and number 1 was reading.
Really?
Yeah.
Surprised that like going to the gym or something isn't.
Gym wasn't even on the top 10.
Yeah, no shit. Maybe like too many, like the gym bro thing has too much of a stigma around
I
that
feel like
as well.
the gym is expected.
Yeah.
So it's not. I mean, gymming isn't really a hobby, right?
I don't know.
Is it a hobby?
I used to read a lot and that never got me women.
I don't know. I feel like it makes sense because it's just a generally good thing.
Maybe
point of
they're looking
character.
for guys who are reading like something more educational than me reading Lord of the Rings for the 19th time.
I don't read.
I actually
Maybe you should. Maybe you should pick up a book.
Nope.
I'm almost worried about saying this out loud because I've been thinking a lot about what I want the first run of like Boardcast shirts to be. I think, and it's like I almost feel bad bringing this up, but I actually really think I've made a decision on having the Boardcast logo on the front, like over the chest, and on the back, it'll be like a book with like a red circle over the top with the off, and just says "I don't read books." I think that'd be really funny.
It's the William quote.
You know what I mean? Like a stop sign or whatever over the book, and it just says, "I don't read
It's
books."
entirely abstract.
Because it's such a nice little callback to like an early part of the podcast, and like it's just funny, right? If you're walking down the street and you see a guy's shirt just says, "I don't read books," you're like, all right.
We're just a book hater. What about
So random.
What if we convinced you to try audiobooks? Would
I
that
did.
work?
I did.
What did you listen to?
Warhammer stuff.
Yeah,
that's the go.
I fell asleep.
but I like that. It's
I
like
tried listening
turns off.
to self-help books, like not and just like educational stuff. And my
If I
brain
want
just
to like,
turns off.
like if I want to listen to self-help books, I'll listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
No, I just leave the Gary V, bro. It's enough. That's a self-help.
I've consumed an incredible amount. Like, I'm talking hundreds of small business audiobooks, like a lot. Like, cause if you sign up for audiobooks, Audible, you get a bunch of like there's a catalog of free stuff that you can listen to, and then I've listened to a lot of like others. Like there's some good stuff, and there's a lot of like stuff like shit that you've got to wade through. But I feel like even if you can get one decent thing out of it, even just a 20-hour book, it's something more educational you can take away with. And it's more about, this thing worked for the person who wrote it, and it's not everything's going to work for you. But if you can build like a strategy or like implementations out of these little things from each of the books that helps you, that makes a big thing. And sometimes it's as little as confirmation bias, where that thing worked for them and I think it's working for me, so I should just try harder at it. Or other times it's like a reality shift of like, I knew I shouldn't be doing this. Like,
But every single one of those factoids is more useful than like my brain. If you imagine a desktop screen, it's just full of shortcuts. It's full of desktop shortcuts. It's just jammed to the heavens, and all it is random facts and stupid idiot things. And I just want to drag it all into the recycle bin, empty my like desktop screen, start again.
Yeah,
It's like at least if I'm gonna fill it with facts that I may or may not use.
Listen to podcasts.
I did the same thing with podcasts where I was subscribed to too many. And I'm not saying to you guys that you should unsubscribe to uneducational podcasts, because we're
I just
a very
listen to
educational
like
podcast.
1 or 2 max. That's it.
I was because I'm driving the truck during the day, right? I'm on the road 12 hours a day minimum. I had quite a lot of crap that I'd subscribed to, and I was committed to listen to it every single day. And I really cut it back, like way back. I only listen to maybe 1-2 hobby podcasts now. And then the rest is like the BBC, like Live at Science, and like some like much more educational stuff that at least they do well, that's interesting. And even the history ones I was listening to was like, I've learned about the Roman history like 15 times in my life. I'm not going to remember it. It's like, do I need more of this information like jamming into my brain right now? So I've like really tried to scale back on like what those things I'm listening to. So I think it makes a difference. Like there's so much, it's the same thing as being overstimulated. There's so much information being poured at you at all times. Do you need this bit of information right now that's getting crushed into your ears?
So much information.
It's good enough for us to take the stuff away from the child, but here I am subscribed to 19 podcasts and like trying to commit to it every
Because I
day.
have the perfect opportunity now that I'm going into my summer break to just reset my brain.
Bit of a purge.
Bit of a purge. I'll report back.
Summer
See how
break?
It goes. If I feel like if I can do it, maybe I can encourage one of the listeners. Like if you're listening here, give it a go.
Let us
maybe
be
we
your
can do it.
spiritual gurus.
Fasting.
Fasting.
Yeah.
Brain fasting.
Actually, what I am real proud of is just slowly, like little points of discipline in my life, right? Because I need the way my brain works, it doesn't like discipline. It doesn't like, it likes staying in, like this is regular. This is a schedule that I have in my life. I just do this, and it's easy to stay in the rhythm. So for me to cut down my eating from 3 to 2, then to 1 now, took a significant amount of effort. I'm actually quite proud of that.
Good.
So, and I want to do the same as well. Like things like putting my phone away and not picking it up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And then like doing more real life based things, like reading a book.
And then Kang's
going
come
out.
with me to the gym. We're going to get jacked.
Yeah, dude. That's the plan. So,
All the best.
why? come, Will.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
You could be more jacked.
I don't want to be more jacked. I'm fit. Like, okay, fit.
So, your daughters read, right?
Yeah.
Are they like do they read good? Like they're fast as well?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty fast.
Yeah.
I
I always ask them like, I always ask like, if she puts down the book so fast and like, oh, give me the synopsis.
Oh, speaking about reading, you guys remember like the Scholastic book fairs?
Yeah.
Did you have,
Yeah.
like book fairs come to your school? They still do that?
Yeah, still
Nice.
do.
Now it's like a pamphlet they send home with you, and they like,
You can choose the book and
yeah,
stuff.
you choose it that way. Yeah.
I'll give my kid like one book each because they
There's
buy
a-
so many books now. So it's
You got all the kids.
Yeah, I feel like it's a bit of a racket now, right?
Yeah.
Where like it's multiple times a year now,
And
and they
it's
sit
still
at
a lot
home.
of crap.
Yeah, there's a lot of toys and like junk in
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
It's still a lot of crap.
It's marketable though, because this is a stereotype, of course, but you have, say, like Williams kids in the book fair are definitely ordering like real books. They're getting like novels and interesting things about different universes and stuff. And all the boys, we're getting like Dragonology, or we're getting toys, or we're getting comic books.
They're still kids as well, right? So it's like, if they sell a fidget spinner along with the book, the kids are still going to want the bloody fidget spinner or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like the thing that's cool. It's like you can't blame the kids for wanting that. It's like being advertised. Like I wouldn't sit my kid down with a Kmart or like a Toys R Us pamphlet and let him pick his thing. But that's effectively what those book
I know. I think
catalogs are.
I also teach my kids one thing that early as well. I taught them money.
Whoa, really?
Of course, like I don't tell them like, look, it's like you need money to buy these books and stuff. Not you just can't spend.
You teach them the value of
Yeah,
money.
you got to teach them value. Like, and then like my kids are like, oh, I want to be rich one day. Like, I want to do this, I want to do that. Like, yeah, I mean, like, it's not easy to earn this money. It's not easy. Like when they destroy stuff. Like when I buy something for them, like this destroy. Like you just can't do that. Like it's $15.
I think it makes sense to have your kids do chores and actually reward them with money, so they can.
I don't
eventually
give them
save.
money. I never gave them money at all. I don't want them to have like, I don't want them to hold money, but I want to give them like, I trade. What I do is if they achieve something, I give them vouchers, and they can trade these vouchers for things that they want.
So
It
kind
doesn't-
of like Fortnite V-Bucks. You've got William Bucks.
Correct, but
Nice.
it's not like 1-to-1, right? So the voucher could trade for something for $10, $30, whatever. Like if I think it's okay, I'll buy it for them. Like it doesn't have to be like in value. Like it is just
So kind of like a gold star system.
But do you think
they
that
trade them in?
Do you think that is maybe disassociates what it is to money? Because I feel like if
No,
you just
no,
gave your
I
kids
just
say
want, like-
$5 and they went out and they bought, say, a drink,
No,
and they
they always
realized that a
then-
drink
the-
cost them $3 out
that's
of
the
their
thing.
$5.
Then they will start to like spam on cheap stuff.
Okay,
I don't
yeah.
want them to spend on cheap stuff. So if let's say it's something expensive, I rather them to learn like, okay, for this item you need 3 vouchers instead of money.
Actually, controlling what they can still spend on makes
Of course,
sense.
of course.
'Cause we had in my school, we had this kid who got money when he was young, like started working pretty young, and he would just go to the IGA and buy snacks.
Yeah.
all day long.
It's like the freedom that comes along with that, right?
Yeah.
And you're 100% correct, because that's something I definitely messed up with Lucas. Now that he's 13, we never really were together on like how we are going to teach him money and understanding. And it's like now that he's older, he'll be just like, oh, we'll just get a pair of shoes. Or he would just like, he would just kind of ruin a pair of shoes by just like not looking after them as well as I can. Where I'll buy a pair of shoes and they'll literally, besides my work boots, those things will last 10 years. Like I'll have shoes for 10 years. And, he'll go through a pair of shoes in like 5 months, not even just because of growing, because he's like, they're all trash. And I'm like, it's $200. I'm like, you can't just going and needing another $200 just because you couldn't be bothered to look after it isn't a good enough excuse. And it's having that understanding of the value that I definitely should and could have done.
I get
better
that a lot. I have a memory that for some reason stuck to me because I grew up quite poor. I didn't have a phone growing up. And I think we were maybe in year 8 or year 9. One of the kids was talking about how like, oh, my phone is so shit. It's got a crack on the screen. And my parents won't buy me a new phone until this phone breaks.
Yeah.
So he threw the phone to the ground. and broke it.
That's a classic kid story there as well.
That's-
right?
if my kid
And
ever do
I-
that, I'll just ban.
Yeah.
You don't get anything.
And I couldn't even. I didn't have a phone at all growing up.
Couldn't
so in my
comprehend,
brain, I was like, what? What happened? So
It just makes you be less grateful of stuff.
correct.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, you just won't be thankful.
I think financial like competence is
oh,
important.
it's very important. Very important.
I think like in the same way that we talk about being overstimulated, I think maybe in the hobby sphere, it's the same thing where when you get access to too much stuff and you have too much stuff, it definitely makes you value what you've got a lot less.
Yeah.
And like me clearing out my card collection to like fund the store, and me clearing out a lot of the Warhammer that I've kept for a lot of these years to fund the store has really made me value the things that I've got left, and having it in less abundance definitely makes me appreciate the small things I do have left, I guess, in that regard.
That being
Yeah.
said, if you want to buy a collector booster, you should buy a collector booster.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's,
sir.
it's all about modicum, right? It's like I think
I think as long as you know what you are spending and within your means,
Yeah.
and don't go overboard.
I guess for a final setup as well, one other thing you mentioned as well is that you are more controlling, or you're more aware of what your kids watch, right?
Correct.
And you mentioned that kids watch a lot of gameplay on YouTube or Twitch. I actually don't think kids watch video games as much as they used to.
nowadays
Nowadays,
downturn.
They watch a lot of
nowadays-
TikTok.
No,
TikTok
yeah,
crap.
it's a lot of real life kind of, I guess, reality TV style content now. If you look at the biggest streaming services out there, like Twitch, the biggest streamers are just doing real life things. Like Kai Cenat or all that stuff, like Phantom. They're all,
So bad.
yeah.
Influence.
Aiden Ross, all that stuff, XQC, all they're doing is just sitting around the computer, hanging out with friends, talking, and all that culture around things. And they are unideal role models, right? You think about like the Logan Pauls and KSIs. They're not great role models for kids.
Yeah,
But that's what the kids are consuming nowadays because the content is way more engaging than a video game ever could be.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
when they get
Crazy.
celebrities on and rappers on and, and doing interviews and talking about that culture and that lifestyle, that's what really sucks kids in nowadays.
Yeah.
So you'll go on Twitch now and you'll see that Kai Cenat has 130,000 people watching him concurrently. And then the next closest viewer that's playing a video game maybe has like 20,000.
Yeah, no.
So in a magnitudes, more people watching that.
It's an eye show speed, right?
iShow Speed is a big one now.
It's crazy.
Have you seen that kid?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because that generation is definitely the kind of my son at 13. That's the people that he sees a lot of. But like we're football fans, so like he does a lot of like soccer, football stuff
Correct.
as well.
He's big in the football.
Yeah.
He wants to become an Olympian. He's
Really?
right now competing for like Olympian.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, he's done some pretty impressive.
No, he's fit. No doubt. He's very athletic, right?
It's like they've done some like not so interesting stuff, but they've also done like a lot of charity things. They do a lot of charity sport games and stuff like that as well.
You got to offset that because then the other side, he's doing like backflips over cars and stuff.
Yeah.
and that's not a great.
And that's not a good role
influence.
model situation. You want kids going out there and like copying that. You know
Yeah,
what
of
I mean?
course, of course. And he got famous because he was loud and annoying.
Yeah, you know
So-
that's the thing is like I think so many kids are rewarded, or like it looks like they're being rewarded for being annoying, and that's a real shame because like in real society, nobody wants you to be annoying. Like most people want you to shut up, and like if you ever met, maybe that's engaging content, but if you ever met that guy in real life, you'd be like, shut up, bro. But I don't know when these people are literally becoming millionaires off of it, and that's a big thing of like kids in high school now that they see a lot of. It's that small business. Getting out of the matrix kind of thing is a big thing in high school, and they're talking about it now. Like my mum's a school teacher, and they see it a lot where every third kid is running like an MLM, and like if these are kids in high school, like, and they're like, I worked at Macca's for 3 years and earned $2,000, and it's like now I'm breaking out of the system and like teaching you how to make money online, and it's like. All right. It's like, bro,
How many?
You're
The
17
thing-
years old, bro.
But the kids now also want to get famous. So I got like the young Daniel
to
kid.
me, it's all about the odds. How many?
Yeah. But
How
these kids, they
many?
don't understand. They're kids. So I got young Daniel from the markets. He'll come up to me and he'll show me like his Instagram. He'll be like, "Oh, dude, this one got 130 views," and I'm like, "Huh." The kids are just all out there doing the same thing.
Yeah, seeing those
Just trying
numbers.
to compete for numbers.
And that's why there's such a big drive to get like plumbers and electricians and stuff like back now, because they're like, kids don't want to be, they used to want to be firemen and policemen and like, electricians or bricklayers or something.
But the thing is, to be them, there's so much hard work. It's exactly the same amount of work.
Yeah.
You're gonna go like become a plumber or whatever, right?
I think it's like the idea is like if you become a plumber, the chance of work being there is incredibly high. And even if you're not a good plumber, you probably still find work somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if you're like not a good streamer, you're not getting nothing. You're broke. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're
But
worse
it,
off.
but it looks a lot easier. You know what I mean?
not really.
I think to a kid, it looks a lot
Yeah,
easier.
it looks
but
easy,
they don't
but it's
realize
not
that
really.
it's a constant competition.
Yeah.
You have to stay on top as well.
Yeah.
I've
I've been trying to like apply for Australian Idol for years, and they hate my singing. But I'll keep at it.
Crazy. The odds are so low.
The rise of like viral internet culture has brought upon like I call it douche tubers, where like
What?
well the loud annoying people get all the attention. So you have like a recent example is there's I can't remember the name of the streamer right now, but he goes around other like countries and cultures, and he on purposely is just annoying and berating just to get hate clicks. And
Can you
viral.
imagine?
So he got literally kicked out of Japan for being so disrespectful to Japanese culture, and he got arrested in Korea right now. He's literally arrested in Korea right now for being disrespectful to Korean culture.
Lock him away for a few days.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
It's crazy. Why do you want to do that?
Because it gets views, it gets you money.
Stupid.
It's the easy way to get on top. You talk about, what was it, the Instagram guy who he was like, "Oh, my mom's, I'm driving my car into this McDonald's," right?
The problem is that one is funny. Have you seen that?
But once
No.
again, he does something obviously incredibly stupid, but he gets famous for
So
it.
it's this guy, right? And he said something about his mum, right? And he's like, "I'm going to drive the car into this McDonald's," and then he drives the car to McDonald's, and then like
He was a McDonald's employee. He looked like he finished his shift and he was pissed off, and he drove his car into the McDonald's.
but he records the whole thing, and then the next day he's like, "I'm on the run from the cops," and the cops are like, he's like, short clips to like the thing on the chat on the TV where it's like has his photo, like we're looking for this guy, there's a manhunt on, and it's him, and then it's him like escaping the country, and like it escalates.
He's full on fugitive right now. So
Yeah.
it started off with him trying to get famous by driving a car to McDonald's, and then he just records the entire thing. He records himself going to the hospital, and then he goes on house arrest, and he's like on stream.
Oh, I forgot about that, but yeah,
On stream, he's like, "All right, guys, I'm doing this," and he cuts the tag off his legs.
Yeah,
and
he's like, if I get like 10 viewers now, I'm gonna cut it off.
and then he becomes a fugitive just to become famous. And now on Instagram, he's constantly posting himself in places on the run in America. And he's like, he'll be in like LA, being like, "Anyone got a house party I can go to?"
Bro, it escalated so far. he's literally being hunted by the FBI.
Straight up,
What the
wanted.
thing is,
He's a fugitive.
wouldn't the authorities can just block all his monetization then?
I guess so. Yeah, it's just
Yeah, I don't know the exact legalities of it all,
And it's
but
just so stupid, right?
Well, it's definitely not smart.
definitely not smart. But it's just an example of what people will do to get famous.
Yeah.
But you're famous, but you don't get money.
Yeah. He figured it out.
Like I'm not condoning it, but it's definitely been working for him.
And I can't help myself, but I'm tuned in.
Okay,
I'm tuned in.
Okay.
I
Right now,
sent
he's
it
trying to get to
Kang
Mexico.
Yeah, I sent it to Kang, or Kang sent it to me, and we'd both already been watching it.
Yeah.
So
I
like,
got no time.
we've been taking the piss out of the last hour about these people who are like consuming shit media, but we're the
For the past
we're
2
the-
days,
we're the
I've
target
We're just
market.
as brain rotted.
Yeah.
I've been packing orders. That's all I did. Oh my goodness.
Is it mostly packing orders? That's why you're so busy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What cards games are you selling on Eternal at the moment?
Everything.
It's everything?
Yeah. Everything.
Well, to the listener, if you've been listening to the broadcast and you go to the end, congratulations. You've paid attention to something for an hour and 20 minutes. It means you
let's
don't
go.
have a short attention span.
Or they've been trying to study and they've not really listened to a single word we
Probably
said.
like our podcast is on the right, Spotify on the left, and then our work in the middle.
Yeah. Any final send-offs? Any last words before we end the episode, guys?
Got pack number 6, maybe. Let's go.
Plus 8K in Williams Bank.
I just want to say a big thank you. Like, we haven't had a single person drop from the Patreon.
Oh,
so
let's
far.
go. Thank you very
This is
much.
episode
Thank you.
37.
Oh, wait.
don't
Hold
jinx
on. We just want to thank our main sponsor. Kang's going to say the name.
Imperial Numismatics.
Yeah, thank you.
Excellent, also, Greg had actually a really good idea. Farag in the Discord and Greg on the Patreon. He had a good idea. We should each build ourselves a commander deck, right? And then have someone else pilot it. But ideally, somebody who hasn't played Magic before.
No, it's someone new.
someone
and then
new.
we have to coach them. So the idea is become the best coach. Oh. The tricky part is we have to set some restrictions because it's very easy to build a degenerate, like, competitive deck and just teach the person to just combo off.
I'm so lazy to build commander deck.
But what I wanted to do was like maybe like
Why don't you just use Danny's deck?
I think it'd be funny to like build it and then have like some stranger come in and pilot it. So like we
Yeah.
go out to the car park and we offer people $100 to come in and sit down and we'll be like, we're gonna like over the shoulder backseat drive them how to play the
On top of
deck.
that idea, what
See
I
who
think would be
wins.
cool is we flip it. Because if the idea is to become the best coach, you have to teach someone how to play a commander deck. What if the new player has to build a commander deck and then we have to teach them to the best of our capabilities?
Oh, yeah. I don't mind.
Maybe as a coach, we can influence, be like, you can chop and change a maximum of 15 cards.
I'm excited about my like Rocky moment where I climbed some stairs and we punched the air together.
Yeah, exactly. And then whoever out of the new players wins becomes supreme commander coach.
Oh, I don't mind that.
Yeah.
That's better.
Stay tuned for that
What
one.
happens to the loser?
No more commander ever.
One nudie run in the Northern Boards car park.
One nudie run at the World's car park? Easy. Fuck it.
Kang can do it.
Way worse things have happened. All right. Thank you very much for listening, guys.
Thank you.
Cool. See ya. Have a
That
good
was-
one.